Okay, here we have the finals of the Renaissance Mixed Tournament. Down to the final two. And Jonts is here with me.
Hello.
So, from what I've seen so far in this tournament, the theme seems to be really strong kingdoms. The kingdoms are generated from all the Renaissance cards, plus an assortment of other specific cards that Donald X believed to pair well with Renaissance. And the result seems to have been kingdoms that are very strong, like this one.
Yeah. Yep, it's red mix. There it is.
Yeah. No surprise, lots going on here.
So they both got the 5-2 opens, which seems like a pretty instant recruiter open.
It's not obvious to me. I mean, you're functionally opening the recruiter with 100% certainty, but you could consider opening with Overlord to use as recruiter, which would then have better flexibility down the line.
I was thinking opening both. Is that too much?
No, I think that's probably pretty reasonable. Recruiter Overlord is the thing that jumps out to me as the most likely opening.
And supplies is the only other thing to open with recruiter. So I think the three possible opens here are recruiter Overlord, recruiter supplies, or just Overlord.
Yeah. I would expect them to go recruiter Overlord. I think seems the most likely.
I mean, the downside is you have 6 debt for next shuffle, but the upside is you get to trash 2 cards with 2 recruiters, which sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sewers can trash 2 cards, but you can't open recruiter sewers, so that's a problem.
You could theoretically buy Sewers turn 3, and then you would trash as much in a world where your recruiter was on your turn 4 hand.
I mean, yeah. Like, if you open... Let's say you got, like, the 3-4 open here, you can do Sewers Overlord.
Yeah. That sounds right on 3-4.
Yeah. Aku opted for the supplies over the Overlord. N.A. Smith opted for the Overlord. So, N.A. Smith's deck is, well, being first player is already just any advantage in this tournament with boards this strong. But I think N.A. Smith is already ahead on trash, too.
Yeah, so he found his Overlord turn 3 and has already played it a second time turn 4. So that's a pretty darn good draw.
Yep, and we're opting to play Scrap over the Recruiter here, which it makes sense. You can take card Silver, maybe? Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense, need payload.
Yeah. Yeah, supplies eventually seem pretty good. I think we're wanting to draw a bit with City Quarter a bit, and supplies definitely help that out quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, City Quarter being the only draw that's sustainable makes it seem really good. All the horse sources here aren't like true draw. You know, Scrap, you've got to trash a card to get the horse. Supplies is itself a stop card. Hosser, you have to discard stuff.
I'm sorry, you missed the real draw card on this board, Flag Bearer.
Ah, yeah, or Flag, I suppose.
Yes, I don't think you need a lot of city quarters, but maybe a couple is fine.
What's the payload gonna be? Festival and supplies?
Some combination of festival and a lot of festivals probably. I guess some villains are fine too. Yeah, at least one villain.
I think I'd want a villain. Making your opponent discard a horse will at least reduce the draw of their city quarters pretty noticeably.
Mm-hmm. So N.A. Smith fights first. I'm pretty sure I want city quarter like this turn for N.A. Smith.
Ooh, that early? Maybe.
Well, let's we draw first, I guess. Need it actually, but like festival city quarter should be fine here.
Supplies flag. Yep, supplies
flag back. All right, sure. All right, flag fights. Let's go.
I mean, it'll be pretty easy to trash these for benefit. So taking Flag Bearer isn't really hurting your deck so much. You can scrap it.
Yep. I expect we're going to be trading flags quite a bit here, actually.
Yeah, I think I would just trash. Oh, that's interesting. I was thinking you just trash copper with the recruiter and then you scrap the flag.
You scrap the flag.
I feel like you don't need all that many
Ye-
villagers here.
Yeah, that would make sense to me for sure. So, like, now what do you do with this Overlord?
Good question. What are these
I
bottom
mean,
two cards?
coppers
I think one's a copper. And what's the other
and
one?
supplies. All right. Well, NA Smith has cleaned up all 10 starting cards on turn 8. As you do.
Now we add payload of some sort.
Probably another festival.
Festival supplies.
Well, I don't know.
Villain supplies.
Yeah.
Something like that. And then maybe city quarter next turn.
Yeah, it seems reasonable. Some combination of just things that make money. Festival, villain, scepter.
What are we gonna be using our scepter on?
So sure, but scepter on other things were like scepter on festival. I don't know. Like, so the thing with scepter to note is it's not an action, which normally is a good thing. But on this board, city quarter likes actions. It might not be a big deal. Since just have so many other actions and like the flexibility might be useful.
Yeah, the scepter honestly just confuses me. Because, like, Scepter's big advantage over the actions is you don't have to spend an action to play it. But that seems kind of trivial here with as many villagers as you got. And its downside is it doesn't help City Quarter draw. Maybe he's not playing for that?
I mean, the other advantage is it does have some flexibility, right? You can play it as a festival or as a whatever else.
Yeah.
But I don't think that flexibility is all that. Like, you already have Overlord for the flexibility, so like I don't think you need more flexibility cards.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that flexible because you also have to play it at the end of your turn, which might not be when you want to play it. Like if you were playing it as Scrap or Recruiter, you're not super happy to do that during your buy phase.
Yeah, I don't imagine we're playing too many more Scraps and Recruiters, though. Maybe Scraps, but I would want like a real Scrap.
If the flexibility is just among the payload cards, I don't think there's really much flexibility there at all. Like, you'd have to have first played a villain, or an Overlord, for example, to even get a villain effect out of it, which you could have just gotten on the first play. And so I feel like it's mostly just going to be festivals.
That is true. Yeah, it's a little weird to me, too. Regardless, NA Smith is pretty well ahead here.
Yeah, I mean, look at Aku's deck. Imagine still having junk in your deck on turn 9.
Aku has only trashed 7 starter cards. Do we actually need a city quarter yet? How are we doing on draw this turn? You can actually play villain twice, right? Because of the flag bearer.
That's actually pretty funny. Yeah, we'll hit twice instead of the normal once on account of you having 6 cards in hand at the start. I think I would take a city quarter as my third buy on this turn.
I mean, like festival supply city quarter seems reasonable to me.
Yeah, something like that sounds fine.
Yeah, it's a sad board for Academy. Recruiter kind of just negates the big thing about Academy, which is villagers.
Yeah, you just don't need the villagers nearly enough.
Ooh, 2 supplies in the city quarter. Yeah, sure, why not?
Seems fine.
Yeah, like the supplies are just really helpful because city quarter wants lots of actions, and so playing a bunch of horses to start your turn helps you A, find your city quarter, and B, draw your city quarter with more actions. And the horses themselves are actions as well. So just good for consistency.
How are we trashing here? I think kill the estate with the recruiter and then scrap the flag bearer.
Well, I guess that's fine. You are a little bit short on villagers, so you might consider doing that in the other order. But I guess what else are you spending villagers on? Not a whole lot. Plus, you have like 3 actions. Yeah, whatever. Do that in order. You don't need that many villagers. recruits the horse. Interesting.
Curious.
Oh, we want to play the flag. I mean, I guess if we're buying flag bearer, this is fine.
This seems fine to me. I mean, the flag bearer is payload, and your deck does kind of need that.
Yeah. All right. We can buy flags, supplies. Do we want a second city quarter?
I'm gonna say not this turn. Or maybe.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I think you're easily drawing next turn with just one city quarter, so I don't want to add the debt right now if I don't have to.
If I were adding debt, I actually think maybe Overlord more than CQ and play it as villain.
That makes sense to me. I guess nothing's an option as well.
Yeah.
All right. So, Smith's deck also has more economy.
Goodbye, Recruiter.
That's a fine time to kill Recruiter.
Agreed. That seemed like a pretty clear play. I don't know what this bottom card is. Supplies, perhaps?
It's a supply. Yeah, okay. They're 5/5 on those.
Yeah, and then I expect the Scepter to be a villain.
Villain seems good. We need more villains. You do the double villain attacks here. I mean, actually, I'm not sure villain attacks hurts all that much, but like you don't need the buys, so might as well.
It seems like quite an annoyance for city quarter purposes, because they're most likely discarding an action, which is both -1 draw on its own, and then -1 draw for like every future city quarter.
Right. I'm just saying, like, they're drawing pretty well, so I don't know if it's actually going to stop them from drawing. But it might cost them an extra horse or something, so...
So I would think we pick up an actual villain here. Nope, we don't.
That's fine. I'm not sure we need the city quarter there, but maybe it's fine. It's 8 debt, though. It's a lot of debt. But NA Smith's deck has a lot more economy, so NA Smith is better able to handle the debt.
I mean, you're definitely going to want more than one city quarter for sure in this deck.
Oh, yeah. It's just an issue of timing, because taking city quarter means you're not getting payload.
Yeah.
I mean, it draws a lot, but it's also a very expensive card.
Yeah, I'm thinking the second city quarter probably was a bit early. The draw seems unnecessary.
Well, I think NA Smith's going to overdraw by about 1,000 this turn.
Yeah.
But then again, every card overdraws. If you can save a few horses, then it just makes future turns more consistent as well. But I do want to see some more villain attacks. I want to see some double villains.
That seems like a reasonable set of buys from Aku there.
Yeah. Alright, scrap a flag here, I think.
Or a horse and buy a flag?
Also reasonable.
I do kind of like having the flag in the deck. N.A. Smith doesn't have all too many other actions otherwise, and shouldn't mind the payload all too much. I mean, it's not like we need these horses. We're drawing out the wazoo. I think I would have just killed an extra horse there.
Alright. Alright, I want to see another villain. Villain 2. Villain 2. Yes! Double villains. Alright, at this point, we build one more turn, I think? I mean, like, piles are low. Scraps are pretty good here.
Are piles that low? I mean, flags will run, and then estate is probably the pile that becomes threatening.
Yeah, estate's a threatened pile.
But
I mean, not like so low you have to score now, but
yeah,
just a province.
It seemed early to me.
Well, it's extra weird to me that you wouldn't spend any coffers. Right? Like, surely you spend some coffers on some more payload, right?
Apparently not.
That was like a very perplexing buy to me. Like, okay, province did seem a little bit early, but even if you are provincing, like, why wouldn't you spend some coffers and take like another scrap or something?
I don't know. I was thinking you want to add more plus buy so that you have more of a in-game threat here.
Yeah.
Like a festival or something.
Or scrap.
Yeah, scrap works too.
Interesting. Yeah, that was a really weird thing to do.
I think we just play the city quarter. I don't want to scrap any of the stuff that's currently in the hand.
Well, what are you scrapping? Probably horse, right?
Yeah, end up scrapping a horse. You don't get to redraw it, which is a little bit sad, but it seems better than the alternatives.
You can play with the silver. Like, you can gain silver. Don't need to buy this. 3 buys is probably enough. So, like, silver, coin, horse is fine, I guess. I guess you could scrap a flag, but it doesn't seem that good.
Yeah, I think you should be fine just buying another flag. So you got 5, 7, 13, 15, 19. 19 money before scrap, plus a debt you have to pay off. Maybe you do need to buy. 19's a lot. Maybe just like province and 2 festivals or something like that.
That seems fine. I mean, I don't. Aku is still in a really weird spot because nasmith can. I mean, nasmith has 16 plus a little bit more. Like, so nasmith could triple this turn. I doubt he would, but certainly nasmith can get the provinces pretty quick. The festivals are for plus buy. They're for payload. Although the game is running out of time, though. Could do like double province scrap right now.
But then you spend both of your coffers.
Yep. I'm just trying to figure out.
Third city quarter.
That seems like way too much overdraw to me.
Yeah, I don't think you have the luxury of wanting that much reliability right now.
Yeah, I don't think you have, like, you can't like mess around here with more draw because nasmith has the payload advantage and he's first player. Like, you can't take the time to add more reliability.
Yeah, province, flag, festival, or villain would have been fine buys. All right. So, what's down there? Just
I think it's just the supplies.
Just supplies, I think, from the discard attack.
So I imagine we're going to play 2 villains here. I'm not sure what we're doing. Aku can't triple, can he?
I'm going to guess no, based on the fact that he's in debt and did not have 24 last turn.
So nasmith can just triple here pretty safely then pretty easily win next turn.
That seems reasonable.
Alternatively, just double and then quad next turn. You can double here.
Yeah, no,
maybe like double plus flag.
Expend the
double plus flag.
The villagers.
Yeah, that's better.
The coffers this turn.
Yeah, and you can threaten quad here. So
yeah, it looks like game 1 to nasmith.
I'm pretty sure quads.
I think he's just been kind of consistently ahead throughout, being player 1. He had the nicer turn 3, and things just have not changed since.
Well, I do prefer nasmith's open. I think the Overlord does more for you than this applies.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And so got cleaner, a little faster. Also, your first player, just like leverage that for a dominant position.
Yeah, he had
Yes,
very good draws.
But part of that is opening Recruiter Overlord, right? Because opening Recruiter Overlord makes you pretty likely to find one of those two turn 3, and then the other one turn 4, and then, it's actually not incredibly lucky to draw that. Like, I think it's a little lucky, but not overwhelmingly so.
So now as Akuchi, you just like double and hope that Nasmith somehow spectacularly duds.
I have no idea.
I don't think it's a good play here.
I mean, maybe like double plus something. Okay, the duchies don't do anything because if Nasmith draws, he wins. So you need to. I don't know. What's going on here? Scrapper Province?
I mean, it's still just an easy win, right?
There we go, okay. Scrap Province, always fun. Alright, well, even with a rough draw, it still gets a triple pretty easily, so. That's one.
So I believe the structure for this is it's best of 4, and then if it's tied at 2-2, they play 2 more, and then if that's tied, they play 1 more, I believe.
Is the final game second player wins ties if it's Armageddon 7th game?
Oh, if there's a tie in the end of the final game, they both lose. And there's just no chance.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Hey, look, it's Recruiter and Academy. Go here again.
And Overlord. And a strong kingdom. Who could have guessed?
How do we feel about...
There's a lot of options here.
There are a lot of options. I assume we open Overlord. I don't know what else we open.
Yeah, I think Overlord turn 2 looks pretty automatic because that's functionally opening a Recruiter, which you should do when you can.
Yeah, I mean, you could also Overlord turn 1, but I don't think that's better than getting something else in your deck.
Yeah, I think on 3-4, definitely Gear. On 4-3, I'm less sure between Gear and Transmogrify.
I don't like the T-Mog so... Well, it's fine. The problem with T-Mog is both T-Mog and Recruiter are fighting over estates.
Yeah. There's a lot of things fighting over estates here. Butcher and Research are also happier trashing estates.
Yeah. So everything here is just better at trashing estates than coppers, which is fine.
So just still Gear Overlord and just be a little bit sadder about it?
So if you open just Overlord and you find your Overlord turn 3, you're pretty happy.
This is true.
But Gear is definitely solid. I think Academy looks better on this board than the last board. I think you might get Academy on this board.
I could see it. There's a lot of terminals you potentially want to play.
Yeah, like you have a lot of terminals. You have like Recruiter Villages, you have Plaza, but who wants to buy Plaza?
Yeah, so they do both opt for the Gear.
And Nasmith getting 1 less debt. Presumably. 1 less fewer, sorry.
No, fewer less debt.
Oh, fewer less debt, okay.
This is a weirdly long time to think. What?
Ooh, that's a spicy one, isn't it?
That can't be right. There's no way that's right.
Interesting.
I don't believe that can be correct.
Do you take second Overlord here as Aku? I would have strongly considered second Overlord there.
I didn't even see Aku's hand. I was still in shock at N.A. Smith's play.
It was 5 coppers and an estate. So you could have set aside just the estate, paid off 5 debt, and bought Overlord.
Perhaps.
Which seems reasonable to me, given that this Overlord here triggers a shuffle. So having a second Overlord in there would make a lot of sense to me.
So, like, N.A. Smith did get to play his Transmogrify turn 3 and all, but now imagine if that was an Overlord, which could have been played as a Recruiter on turn 3.
Yeah, I'm not understanding the Transmog Open. I don't like it. Yeah, I don't know. So I guess we're going estate to silver here, as N.A. Smith.
Yes. And then what's he going to hit at the end of that? He already saw 2 estates, so his bottom 2 cards are both coppers. So he'll have 7 in hand. Probably set aside 2 coppers. And he has debt. I didn't even notice that part.
It took Overlord last turn, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so set aside 2 coppers and half debt.
Probably just pay with debt. I mean, you could take another Overlord if you want. Right? You can't set aside 2 copper if you do it that way, but you could take a second Overlord.
You could do that by setting aside just 1.
I wonder if Ranger right now is any good. Plaza. Fine. Plaza is just very underwhelming to me.
Yeah, Plaza, when you have Recruiter villagers, feels a little bit too low impact.
I do want some Rangers. I want some payload too. I kind of want a lot of stuff, but I'm not sure the order to get it in.
Is it crazy to want an Archive or 2 here? I'm just thinking about how to deal with coppers. And I feel like Archive deals with coppers pretty well.
I mean, Archive seems great actually, because you can... Early in the game, it gets rid of your coppers. Later in the game, you can just butcher it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be a while before you thin coppers with just Recruiter. What is payload? Butcher. Butcher's payload.
Payload is the stuff your deck does at the end of the turn.
Well, sometimes payload just happens in the middle of the turn.
That's true. Or even at the start of the turn.
Yeah. Payload is your ability to add cards to your deck.
Yeah, I mean,
Plaza does help a little bit. What do you mean strictly true? It's a fuzzy definition because there's no strict definition of payload.
But
there's not like a governing body that sets like hard definitions here.
But there is a governing body for the definition of smoothing butchers. Maybe that's
there are non-card adding payloads. All right, what's a non-card adding payload? Monument. Monument payload because it gives you 2 coins, which helps you buy things. I'm very confused what you mean by...
I don't think the scepter changes that at all.
I don't know what's happening. So, Monument is a combination of a scoring card and a payload card. Like, the scoring is the VP it gives you, and then the payload is the coins it gives you. Yeah, payload doesn't score. Payload adds cards. It's just sometimes the cards it adds are things that give you points.
You can also buy things without ever scoring.
Yes, you can also buy things without scoring. It's true. I mean, anyway, the way I define payload is as your deck's ability to add cards to your deck.
I'm confused about what Cave's referring to. Is there a game going on or something? Aku playing?
I don't know what's happening here. They're just playing Renaissance Mix.
Yeah. I think I would count the VP from Monument as payload.
I wouldn't, but whatever. It's not like it doesn't matter. No, curses are attacks.
Attacks can be payload.
No, they can't. Attacks can hurt your opponent's payload or hurt your opponent's control, but they are not themselves payload.
In my house, we welcome all forms of payload.
Listen, I have definitions for all these things in my brain, all right? And I'm going to stick with them. Yeah, penguins is payload, sure. Gives you 2 points in the buy. that helps you add cards to your attack?
No, if it's an attack, it can't be payload.
Well, it's also an attack because it hurts your opponent's control.
So
All right. So gold.
that's a card that exists.
Do you have any thoughts? Do you have any thoughts on that buy right there?
Well, it's very shiny. Yellow.
Gold is a payload card.
With a purplish tint.
Gold over Butcher is extremely surprising to me. Because Butcher seems like a card you want pretty soon in this deck.
Yeah, they could have also banked up a coffer with their Plaza if they bought Butcher, and then you have a Butcher with a coffer coming in. That seems kind of nice.
It's a little bit easier to kill your estate, kill your coppers to Butcher. If you can turn them into 3 costs instead of 2 costs. Aqua doesn't have Academy either, which I think is going to make the village terminal space a bit tight.
Yeah, Academy seems nice. I don't want to rely too much on plazas. I feel like one Academy buy does the work of a whole lot of plazas here.
Yes, it does. I mean, Enigma's... I mean, yeah, it's been fine. It just seems like worse to me, but I don't know. Why are all the 5s at 10? Because Overlords exist.
Academy's not at 10 either.
That's true. Dutch and Academy are not at 10. Would you say Academy is at 1?
Yeah. 1 has been bought, 1 remains.
Yeah, they're building differently than I would have thought. Like, I would play with Butcher earlier than they are. I mean, you have the Overlord, so it's not necessary that you have to do it, but I also want maybe... I don't know, the Rangers are fine. They're drawn pretty well. And, yeah, Enigmith could do, like, T-Monk to Butcher right here, and then play Gear, draw Butcher, play Butcher. Plaza?
Plaza, we need these villagers.
I guess that's fine. I don't know. I'm not sold on these plazas.
Also, why didn't you play the plaza? Am I missing something? Oh, never mind. That was not possible.
That plaza was just... Yeah, I don't...
I misread that. Well, I thought he was transmogrifying something into plaza.
Yeah, unfortunately the client does usually enforce the rules, which is a problem for cheating, but yeah.
Curse you, Steph.
Thought of everything. Doesn't like just randomly play actions from your discard. Who made Barracks more expensive than Academy?
Donald X, I believe.
Are you sure? It wasn't, I'm trying to think of another game designer, but I'm blanking, so sure. Go Donald X. You could probably easily switch the costs on Academy and Barracks and it'd be okay.
Yeah. Academy's definitely stronger than Barracks.
One of the first projects that have never changed. Donald X should consider changing some of them, though. Is DZ talking in the third person right now?
DZ appears to be. Is that a game designer thing?
Probably.
You can tell I'm not a game designer because I talk in the first person.
Yes, same. I talk exclusively in the second person, actually.
Wait a second.
Should I say you talk exclusively in the second person just to make it more confusing?
Yes.
I assume we just play Ranger here, right? There's not much to think about. Is there? Oh, sure, we're second side. choppers is fine.
Man, I wish I had any idea what was going on, that I could give a more informative answer as to what the correct play is.
I got distracted by.
It's definitely chat's fault. They were not. Well, except Cave. Cave tried to steer things on the right track and was unsuccessful.
Listen, there's more important things here. All right, going on. No academy yet for what is going on with Aku's deck. Look, Aku has no villagers.
This seems very self-imposed.
Yeah, like Aku has only one person to blame for this mess right here.
This is just
and that person is Cave Sapien.
Yeah, definitely Cave's fault. That Aku had a dud right here. So this gives me an idea. I haven't played Aku yet this season for League. And seeing how much he likes gold, I'm thinking of forcing gold into all the kingdoms.
I mean, as long as you both agree to it, it's fine.
Yeah, I think I could convince him.
No, Steph is only when I get bad draws. All right? Steph only has it out from me personally. I don't know what Aku's doing this game, but it doesn't seem very good. And certainly 0 villagers is a really bad number of villagers to have in a deck like this.
Oh, for sure. Easy peasy.
No, J-Nails can only win 3.5 games. No more.
Is that the number I'm supposed to hit?
Yep.
Okay, so if I win more than that, I assume I'm overtaking you? What happens if I win too few? Why is that bad?
You can go less than 3.5 is fine.
Okay.
As long as Aku doesn't get like another 6-0 or something, maybe. Like I think if Aku got like 2 6-0s, that might be enough to overtake me. Or like maybe like I don't know the standings, but it's Aku would need a good number of games, but could do it. Yeah, Crabcat also needs to win at most 3.5. Listen, there's like a very low probability to actually finish in second, but it can happen.
Wait, you 4-2'd Crabcat, right?
Oh, you're right. Crabcat needs 4.5, right? Because I win tiebreaker.
So yeah, so if Crabcat wins 4, then y'all would be tied and you would win the tiebreaker.
You're right. But you took me down 2-4, so
yeah, so I
gotta watch out for that.
But if I win 4, but Crabcat also wins 4, now there's a 3-way tiebreaker, and we've all beaten each other 4-2, and so then I think we just flip a coin.
or we play 3-player swindler match.
Please, I'll forfeit. You can play the championship. I don't even. It's not worth it.
Oh man. I'm at 42nd to be second place. Okay, that's almost 50%.
Okay, we're provincing already.
I think Aku's just totally lost. I don't know what Aku's doing in this game, to be honest. Like the buying golds, not getting villagers, not buying butcher. It just seems like a weird set of buys.
I liked his opening better.
I did like the opening better, that's for sure. So if Smith wins this game, then Aku needs to win the next 2, right?
That is correct.
All right. I'm going to assume N.A. Smith wins from here. I think the position looks just dominant for N.A. Smith.
Yes, indeedy.
What are you playing everything as?
I would play the plaza as a plaza.
Okay, bold, but I like it.
All right, looks like N.A. Smith agrees.
Now, what would you play this ranger as?
Probably a ranger, I would think. You want to reset the token? Ooh, gear into province. Certainly a play.
I mean, having the province is interesting because you can play 2 butchers and mill more effectively than Aku can. Like you could take. Well, I assume you want some villagers, so it probably takes Plaza. That seems fun. Yeah. And Smith did not set aside with that gear, right? Oh no, sorry, trash the gear.
The one that he trashed.
Okay.
I do not believe he set aside with the gear.
Good, I mean, that's what I was asking, right? So NX is fairly dependent on finding a ranger, which might not happen.
I mean, if you find your overlord, you could play it as a ranger in a pinch. You wouldn't be super happy about it, but it would.
No, you'd be sad about it, but you'd do it for sure.
Yeah.
So it's pretty unlikely to dud as NA Smith, but not impossible. Now we have to dance around these provinces for a bit.
So
I don't know. I wonder if what if Alku takes 2 provinces here? Does that put NA Smith in a tight spot?
What can NA Smith's deck do?
It can't take 4 provinces, I don't think. Maybe it can. If you mill twice, can you afford double province?
So NA Smith has 2 butchers and an overlord. There's theoretically a lot of provinces.
Oh, we can mill 3 provinces.
I'm gonna guess with a good draw, NA Smith could beat just straight double here. And that would probably involve milling 2 provinces and then doing like 2 provinces in an estate.
That makes sense. Aku's gonna be forced to play this overlord as a plaza. Once again, if you had a villager, like this turn looks so much better for Aku. But now you have to waste an overlord.
Yes, indeed. We should just play Overlord as Academy.
Play as Academy. I think it's too late for that. I think you have to play it as Academy earlier.
That's true. You need to play it as Academy and then gain an action.
Yeah, you have to play as Academy last turn, then gain the actions to get the villagers. I mean, you could play it as Recruiter, but that seems significantly worse than playing it as a Plaza. I don't really want to trash a gold here. Unless I'm butchering it.
Yeah, I mean, you probably do want to trash a gold just for different reasons. Capital also seems like a card that is potentially going to be significant. We're getting to the point where like the game's 1 or 2 turns from over, which is when Capital shines.
Does this win?
I'm gonna guess no. So you can mill
the economy's there. You can mill the province 3 times, and that's enough economy. But I don't think the actions or draw is there.
And you have enough money to buy 2 provinces.
Yeah, 6 plus because you'll end up with 6 coffers, right? So that's 12. It's 16 in hand if you mill that province 3 times.
Oh yeah, sure enough. Is this possible? We don't have a whole lot of villagers.
It is because you need a way to like draw the province back up a couple times, which I don't think you can do. You could do it if you had like more villagers, but you're a little terminal limited.
Could you do like I don't know, play Plaza, province, and ranger into 2 provinces? Draw? No, that doesn't work, does it? Then you would have too little money, I think. No, maybe that works.
Just a copper?
No, that doesn't work.
There's just a copper in the discard, right?
That's a good question. I believe so.
So yeah, I don't see any way this wins this turn. It's close, but not quite there.
Yeah, it looks short to me.
Mill and hope. What does that mean? Mill and hope.
I don't see an incentive to mill. Doesn't that help your opponent?
Well, but what are you hoping for? Like, even if you draw province on the plaza, you still can't win in that position. you have to mill it 3 times, not twice. um, let's see. Killing a butcher to a province. That's interesting. I guess it's fine. Can Aku take 4 provinces? Probably not, right?
Well, not with this hand.
Well, not with this hand. But
I think Aku
there's
could
no
do
hand
shit
that
if he
does it.
tried. Just
No,
not.
there's only one overlord, right? So like you have to buy you have to mill a province and then buy 3 provinces, right?
Well, not specifically that shit.
Like Aku has only the one overlord. That's all the butchering Aku can do. I would not touch provinces. Touching provinces is bad.
Capital would have seemed fine there, yeah.
Capital would have been fine, yeah, for sure. Um, I think butcher's a little bit better because it comes with a villager.
Yeah, the villagers are kind of significant now. So this is interesting.
Now, obviously,
both of them have ranger and no villages in hand, but that looks a lot better for one of them than the other.
yeah, yeah. Turns out villagers are pretty good, especially with the ranger. All right, so what does Aku even do here? Like double province probably loses. I guess you can double and hope Nas duds.
With you probably know he's only set aside junk.
Like if Nas draws, Nas wins, right? Like Nas can take 4 provinces.
Yes.
And it's not even that hard, I don't think.
Yeah, I think you got to play for a dud. That seems
So I
right.
think you double here and hope for a dud. I guess you could single and hope for a dud and play it a little bit differently. Because Aku could technically like double plus mill next turn.
Something like single plus ranger seems fine.
Single plus undo 100 seems fine.
That's a good line. The ranger reduces your chance of dudding. He's already got a plaza set aside, so the most important card for him to find is a ranger at this point.
Yeah.
And then if he draws next turn, he would be able to win from there. Actually, is that true? Can he do 4 provinces? Like, supposing N.A. Smith duds, can... Oh yeah, no, he doesn't need to do 4. We're assuming he buys 1 province here. Yeah, that'd be fine. I think. Province plus ranger.
Province ranger is fine. Overlord, I don't know if you can afford Overlord.
But you can, because you only have to pay off the debt afterwards.
Right. But right now we have 12 plus 5 coffers. Capital Ranger. Actually, that's fine too, I think. Capital Ranger.
It runs the risk of not drawing your ranger.
That's true, but it probably doesn't matter. Like with this draw here, N.A. Smith probably just wins. Actually, is it in hand yet? It's like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's like 1 coin short of in hand. Actually, no, play 2 rangers, draws enough. Yeah, this wins. We got it. Butcher some provinces, butcher a ranger, buy a province. Or do whatever, it doesn't matter.
All right, 2-0 for N.A. Smith.
Yeah, nice. So a tie is just as good as a win, right?
Yeah, a tie here would clinch the match for N.A. Smith. Do or die for Akuchi.
Right. Gotta win 2 in a row.
Which did happen in the semifinals match.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm hoping for a game 7, personally. I want to see more Dominion.
Oh, yeah, you had to leave early. Do you want me to spoil who won the semifinals match?
Oh, yeah. Sure, spoil it.
Akuchi beat Burning Skull.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, Burning Skull had a comeback for a bit, but Akuchi won in the end.
Wow, well, good for him. So what does that mean for the rest of the tournament and for Aku?
It means Aku advances to finals and plays Nasmith.
Oh, nice. When's that match happening?
At the moment. And then Burning Skull advances...
Oh, that's this one right here. Okay.
Through the exit.
Right. That all makes sense. Okay. So this looks a lot like you want triumphs and you want horses.
Yes, I would want to triumph many times.
I'm assuming we open priest something. Overlord's here again.
Gear Priest, Priest Overlord.
Overlord looks less exciting on open here because like the 5s aren't as exciting. At least not right now. Later on, liveries could be pretty good, but not yet.
The idea, I think, would be to play it as Priest both turns if you could.
You want to do the collide.
Play it as Gear if it's turn 3, and be sad if it's turn 4.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I guess you can play as Village or something, which is a little sad, but whatever. I mean, I guess Overlord's fine. I think Gear is also fine. Priest Gear is pretty good. And it doesn't incur any debt.
Yeah, those strike me as the two things I'd be considering. I guess Supplies is fine.
So, like, yeah, right here is fine. Just set aside a Priest and something.
I don't know.
What are you buying next turn?
So next turn you've got 2 estates and 3 coppers down there, so you're hitting 5 anyway.
Are we seawaying something?
That's a good question.
Doesn't seem necessary, does it? Like, I imagine we're going to get some spices on this board.
I mean, Seaway is kind of nice because it helps you pick up supplies quicker.
That's true. Maybe we could just, like, Seaway, Can't Seaway this turn. Seaway this turn would probably be cool.
So your options are a 4-5 split here or a 3-6 split. You could do, like, set aside Priest Copper, buy Gear, and the next turn a big hostelry.
I mean, with this many turtles, I think you have to take hostelry now. Yeah. What did Aku open? It was also Gear, right? And then Aku...
Spices?
Had basically the exact same turn. Okay.
Whoa, that was a little surprising to me.
Spices. Alright. Well, you're a little over-terminal, but I guess Gears don't mind being over-terminal that much.
Yeah, I mean, there's no conceivable way they could play all the actions in this shuffle.
Yeah. This might be Seaway Hostelry. That seems fine.
It is an interesting choice between, like, one more horse and getting plus buy on hostelry. I think both of them seem plausible.
No, plausible's last game.
Oh, you're right. But, like, hostelry is plausible. They're very similar. You plus one card, plus 2 actions, discard a copper for a benefit. If you have Academy, they're both giving you... Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. I don't know where I was going with that last part.
No, it's true. If you have Academy, they both give you plus 1 action when you buy it. Or a Villager when you buy it.
True.
So,
yeah, that's true.
Another way in which are similar.
They're both similar in that the person getting them does not have Academy.
Yeah, Nash sure does have a lot of terminals.
Yeah, I thought the moment he set aside copper there and bought Gear, I was just confident he was going to take hostelry the next turn.
Yeah, this line looks a little weirder to me. Is it hostelry? It has to be hostelry now, right?
Yes. Are you spending coppers for horses?
I think the answer is yes. Are we seawaying hostelry?
Uh,
Is that worth a horse?
I'm not sure. There's a slightly less reason for Naismith to do it because he has the spices, whereas Akuchi does not. But it still seems like it could be fine. Again, like, just buying a bunch of supplies seems like a reasonable thing to do.
Yeah. I could see just, like, spending 2 coffers and taking Seaway Hostlery and 4 horses.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. What are these next 4 cards? 2 estates, a priest. Did he set something aside? Oh, no, he's got a priest and an estate set aside. So it's 1 estate and a bunch of coppers?
Some coppers or something, yeah. Nothing good.
Oh, and a village. Yeah.
Oh, that's right, village. The OG village.
So he does go with Hostelry Seaway and spend all the coffers.
Yeah, I think that's totes reasonable. Oh, also an Overlord. I missed that.
Oh, yeah, sure. If I missed that, too.
I don't... That's a lot of debt, but maybe it's fine. I mean, playing Overlord as Priest is pretty nice because you get to...
When you say the second Overlord, hip 6, which Overlord are you referring to?
Hip 6 has some insights into the future of this match.
I think they've let slip their clairvoyance there.
Yeah, well, it happens once in a while.
They should have foreseen that would happen.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, if you draw your deck, you can play 2 priests. That helps pay off debt significantly because the second priest is going to make 4 coins for you, which is a good number of coins.
4 is a very good number of coins.
All right, this is a livery and supplies. Seems fine. Just fishing for that Overlord. Do we play gear first here and try to save some horses? I guess not. So I assume we're just trashing 2 estates here, and we're pretty happy about it.
Yes.
I assume N.A. Smith wants a livery soon. I guess Overlord can be livery at some point. But, like, more liveries seem really good here. Also, scepters seem really good here.
I think you can afford to set aside 2 coppers here.
Well, just math real quick it'll be 5, 6, 7 plus.
You'd have 5 money
6
left.
6 is 13 minus 5 is 5 left over. Yeah, set aside 2 coppers, you have 5 left over for, like.
2 supplies or something.
I'm thinking more like scepter, actually.
Ooh.
No, you can't draw next turn, though. Because you spent all your horses.
We need to burn some horses here. I don't know, maybe you do, like, set aside 1 copper and buy, like, village gear?
No, it's scepter. I think scepter's fine, actually. Scepter's totally fine.
I'm less convinced. The not drawing your deck thing seems like a problem to me.
I mean, it's only, like, 1 turn that you're not going to draw your deck.
But what if it were 0 turns and you just added the scepter next turn?
I mean, the problem with getting gear, though, is you can't play Overlord terminally in that case. Because is that true or is that wrong?
You could do village gear.
Gear. No, there's only 5 coins.
Well, that was if you set aside 2 coppers.
Oh, you said this. Actually, no. This is fine. Setting aside 2 coppers. Does this work out? Yeah, I guess like gear supplies was actually fine there, I think. Okay. Do we want a scepter here as Aku?
We do not.
No, we want 3 horses. Do we want a triumph?
Seems too early to me.
Probably too early, yeah.
When to triumph is a little bit tricky, because like if you were playing Lord Raddington or just someone playing money or something, you could just build forever and then get like 100-point triumph off of all the horses from livery. But here, you get this problem of you might have to take the triumphs awkwardly early or get scooped on them.
I think N.A. Smith is like probably better than Lord Raddington, like a little bit.
Oh yeah, the horses are going to max out at 30 this game, aren't they? Because there's no way to gain and play a mid-turn. In other cases, you can get it triumph well over 100 via horses. Like if you gain a card mid-turn, gain 30 horses off of that, and then play all your horses and regain 30 more horses.
All right, right, so I assume we're taking something like, um, I think I want a second livery, or maybe just a scepter. I guess, is there any point to having a second liver or like a second livery other than just like? No, there's no point to like second livery over scepter, right?
Yeah, I like the scepter. Scepter hostelry seems fine to me.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Um, and we'll just get a bunch of scepters. At some point, we'll get triumphs, but it's probably still too early.
Yeah.
No, I wonder if you can. Can you hoard the horses here? Is that allowed?
Oh, well, there's no horde in the kingdom.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Well, since that's not possible, can you like get all the horses here and keep your opponent from playing any?
That is something of a threat. If you just have all the horses in your deck and then you spin them and regain them each turn.
It would certainly be winning. It's just a question if that's like a feasible thing to aim for.
I mean, their decks don't need super much draw.
They don't need that much draw. But if you do have all the horses, then your opponent can't get enormous triumphs.
This is true. What do you buy here? Just more scepters?
Another scepter. Two scepters seems fine to me. You can also take a livery. Like a real livery as opposed to playing Overlord's livery.
Yeah.
There's Spices. Seems okay. I'm not sure. Is Spices better than Scepter? I don't think it is.
How many hostelries does nasmith have?
Like 2 maybe? Or 1? I think Aku has at least 3.
I was just kind of assuming that the Spices was motivated by some need for plus buy.
But Hostelry also has plus buy on it.
Scepter hostelry seemed like a reasonable thing that one could have bought as well.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, we should probably just set aside some copper here as Aku. Right?
I would expect so.
I guess you could set aside a gear, but I just want to make sure I'm drawing through here. Does not set aside. Interesting. It's a little weird to me. I mean, surely you set aside now, right? Like, you don't want to draw copper next turn.
What are these bottom 2 cards?
That looks all reasonable to me. Yeah, or I guess I said force copper makes more sense.
Yeah,
Scepter Livery or Scepter Priest?
Good question. I'm going to say
Scepter
livery.
Priest makes 1 more coin.
Livery gives you the draw to still be able to draw next turn, and then like on the following turn, you could Scepter Priest a bunch of times and trash the remaining coppers for hella money.
Yeah. I have no idea when to start triumphing here. It's very unclear to me. But like, Scepter Hostelry Triumph right now makes a lot of sense, I think.
Do we need to triumph here?
I mean, how many horses is that? It's 2, 4, 8 horses, 10.
I don't think I want to triumph yet.
It's so hard to say.
Your opponent's not going to be able to snipe 7 estates or anything from you next turn.
Yeah, maybe. Our actions are a little tight, though, still. Still take, like, Scepter Gear right now and be fine, right?
Yes, your deck can support that.
Or Priest is interesting. I guess it's fine. More economy through your triumphing. I mean, if Aku could, like, drain estates, that would be a pretty strong play, right?
Yeah, like if you had enough plus buy to like buy 6 estates and then triumph twice, something like that would be really good.
Even buy 6 estates, triumph once is probably enough points to just win, right? Or buy 7 estates and triumph once.
Yeah.
Well, I just would be afraid that my opponent could do the same. That'd be the scary bit.
Overlord is gear.
Yeah, I don't really like how Smith is playing this that well. Like Smith is just not drawing deck yet, which is. I feel like by this turn, what turn is it? Turn 10? I feel like turn 10 in this game, you should be drawing deck. Well, Smith doesn't have a real livery. Smith has Overlord, but like a real livery would look pretty good.
Yeah, he sure does like his spices, though.
Yeah, the spices are fine. I mean, I certainly want to. I don't know how many. Like, do we want to play a livery here to get some horses? Probably. How many liveries do you want to play?
Good question. I
mean, playing 3 liveries seems fine.
What did he set aside? He didn't
copper,
set aside any of his gears, did he?
Nothing, no. No, nothing set aside. So I'm thinking something like three liveries here, and then buy at least a hostelry for some horses, and you should be drawn next turn. I mean, I guess you could scepter a hostelry for. I guess Smith could take the estates here, right?
Let's see. Yeah, I think he could do 8 estates. Wait, no.
How much money is that?
I don't think he can do 8
estates. No.
Because he can't both get plus buy and also get enough money for it.
Yeah. Also, it'd probably be not the best idea. All right, 1 livery, 2 livery, 3 livery.
Looks like it.
Looks like we're not getting hostelry, which is interesting.
Well, I mean, you could. You're getting 3 horses off of whatever you buy anyway. So if you play the 4 coppers and buy a hostelry, you're still getting 3 coppers. So you're getting 3 horses plus a hostelry instead of 4 horses.
Well, you raise a good point there. Priest, Seaway, Priest. Oh, interesting. Ooh, interesting. Smith is playing for like a big priest turn next turn. That's kind of fun. I'm not so sure. I think Aku has a chance. Can Aku take 8 estates this turn with at least a couple triumphs?
I have no idea.
Can Smith empty provinces next turn?
That doesn't sound right to me.
Doesn't sound right to me either. I mean, you can play a lot of priests, though. You can play a lot of priests. So maybe it works.
Oh, I missed him seawaying priest. Okay.
Yeah.
That does change things a bit, doesn't it? Now all of a sudden it does seem possible.
I don't know. Maybe it works. I don't know.
So how many priests can he realistically play? He bought 2 scepters, he had 3 scepters, and he's got 2 priests. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 priest plays. How much money does that make? I think the answer is a lot.
Can Aku...
Yeah, that'd be enough money.
Can Aku outscore 48 points?
I don't know.
Still different items here, right? Or was the village is fine? All right, so it's not village horse. Okay, so let's see here. The supplies. I assume we're playing 2 more liveries here. Only 5 buys, not enough buys. I guess Nasmith. I guess Annie Smith wins then, huh? Interesting. Um, it's kind of hard not. Well, I guess he might not draw. That's true. Yeah, somehow Aku seems underbuilt now. I believe Henny Smith has 9 horses, if I'm counting correctly.
So there's 14
Oh,
horses
sorry, no.
unaccounted
1, 2, 3, 4.
for.
No, it's 12. It's 12 horses, right? There we go. I missed a buy. Yeah, priest megaturns are definitely a thing, aren't they?
They are indeed.
I still think priest megaturn could play. Well, yeah, if any Smith draws here, that's definitely a win. So what is? So I'm thinking, duchy. No, 3 duchy 2 charms sounds terrible. Like, so the thing is, even if you could afford that, like, let's consider, like, okay, let's say NA Smith can win if NA Smith draws a deck, right? So you need to just hope NA Smith can't draw a deck. So if NA Smith doesn't draw a deck, you need to be able to win next turn, right? So you're not playing to just score as many points as you can this turn, because that doesn't actually stop NA Smith from winning. You need to build your deck so that next turn you can win yourself.
Oopsie, I lost
so
connection there for a second, but I'm back.
Oh, hello, welcome back.
It looks like things have not progressed much since I disconnected.
No, they actually, this is actually game 7. It's just in a very surprising twist of fate. It's the exact same position we had a few games ago.
Oh, that explains so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I figure this will probably play out the same way then that Game 3 did.
Why does Aku need to Seaway Priest? I mean, I guess you would if you want to hit 8 buys. You have 5 buys right now, and you don't want to spend your scepters and other things.
Yeah, I liked the Seaway Priest play from N.A. Smith because it resolves the problem that you otherwise have of needing to play a bunch of Hoth-3s and also a bunch of priests, and then having your scepters having too many things to do.
Kind of weird because, like, a couple turns ago, Aku's deck had more stuff in it, but now N.A. Smith's deck has more stuff in it.
I'm not sure we're getting that aglet.
And I don't know how that happened.
Why 2 priests?
Safely. What do you mean? What do you mean safely? Like, nothing is completely safe because N.A. Smith can take 8 provinces. Like, there's no such thing as a safe play here. Yeah, like the province pile is too low. That's the real problem.
How do you
I think
pile
in
more
any
easily
Smith,
than drawing? That doesn't make sense to me.
yeah, I think either you draw and you win, or you don't draw, and like you can't take that many things, right? Like
Like
if
like
you're playing,
if
if
you
you're
took
gonna,
3 priests and left the piles at 10, if Smith can get 10 buys by playing priest 10 times, then he'll have enough money to buy provinces. I don't think there's any scenario where piles are the big concern.
yeah, I think the way of looking at it as is every buy you make makes you a boatload more money, right? So getting 10 buys is like exponentially more money than getting 8 buys.
There are things to trash.
There's a lot of things to trash. Tons to trash. I don't like. What does Triumph do? I don't understand. That people are suggesting Triumphs now. I don't know what that does. Like scoring is not what Aqua needs to do. Certainly, like play for your own priest mega turn makes a lot of sense.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you just gotta hope you get another turn, and just give yourself a big
Yeah.
enough deck to win if you do.
Man, I just got bamboozled by Triumph here, huh? It was a priest mega turn board all along. Seaway priest, 2 scepters, and a priest makes sense to me. Sure. NA Smith did not get bamboozled. All right, no one bamboozles NA Smith. Because you don't have enough for that. You can take 3 5s and a 4. Yeah, I think the best bet is like Seaway Priest, 2 Scepters and a Priest, and then hope NA Smith does, and then do your Omega turn. Spices. Triumph. Like the Triumph, 14 points is just not very many. Or 31 points is not that many points. Is the problem.
Even if NA Smith failed to get 8 buys, you'd probably just triumph like 6 times and have more points than Aku could deal with.
I mean that's a good point. The problem is I don't think NA Smith is dudding at this point.
You
Let's
never
see.
know.
What are the terminals that NA Smith has? 2 priests? I mean, we're already up at 7 priest plays, right? This is already a win in hand, isn't it?
Looks like it.
Is 7 how much does 7 win? 7 make? 56.
56, you need 8 more money. I guess you don't have 8 more money.
I guess if you get 56, you can do something else. But yeah, this wins. That's it. There's enough stuff to trash. Right, there's 1, 2, 5. There are 7 things to trash. Oh wait, there's not 8 things to trash though. There's only 7 things to trash. Oh, did one priest already trash something? Okay, I'm just not counting then. Good old priest mega turns. So much fun. Not 72. How did Hip6 know that?
He counted it earlier.
Wait, you can just count that out? It's allowed?
Yes, that is within the rules.
Interesting. Okay. Well, congratulations, NA Smith then.
So yep, we got our champion with 3-0.
Champion the Renaissance mix. Yeah, NA Smith lost like a single game that entire tournament. which is just nuts.
Indeed. All right, good match.
Got lucky. 30 whole games.
Yeah, what a lucker.
Yeah, just lucked into every single win. Well, very well played for sure. Very nicely spotted on the Priest Mega turn there.